Okay, part of your homework out of 6.2 is 55 and 56. We haven't talked about identities yet. At least I don't think we have. So you can do them without identities in a similar way to how you did the first 4, 21, 25, 29, and 33. So that's what we're going to do now, for now, and eventually you'll learn identities, and one may work better for you than the other. So you may like using the identities more, you may like doing what we're going to do right here more. So I'm going to go over 50. I'm going to go over 56, since the answer is not in the back of the book. So that's out of 6.2. You should do 55 and check in the back of the book, make sure you're right. So the first thing they tell us is that sine of 60 degrees is equal to root 3 over 2. And then they give us 4 different things that they want us to find. They have cosine, cosine squared, well, cosine of 30, so it's a different angle, cosine squared of 60. So same angle, squared, different function, then some secant and some cosecant using radians. So I'll start with A. They want us to find cosine of 30. So my suggestion here is that you draw a right triangle, like so, like the last ones. Label, I guess the 60 is going to be up here. Make your right angle. Label, so the hypotenuse is 2, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so this root 3 gives me the opposite side. You can do this next step in lots and lots of different ways. And it'll also work for the next one, but you should notice here that one, like looking at this triangle right here, one that you got 6 degrees and 9 degrees, so this is 30. That's going to be a part of, as you can see for A, we need to find the cosine of 30, so I'm going to use that. And then the other thing we can do is we've got a right triangle, so we can use Pythag. So you basically need to get that angle right there, the 30, in one way or another, and you need to get this side right here. You can get that side from here in 2 ways. You can say, alright, let me use Pythag and solve for that side. Or you can just notice that it's a 36 and 9 triangle and label it as 1. So we're going to use that triangle to answer all the rest of the questions here. So cosine 30 is actually really easy after we've drawn that triangle. You should notice that the root 3 is the adjacent side to the 30. And the 2 is the hypotenuse. So cosine is A over H. So I just get root 3 over 2. So notice it's the same as what the sine of 60 was. Next one, B. It asks for cosine squared of 30, which really just means take the cosine of 30 and then square it. Wait. Oh, I looked at 55, so 56 asks us for cosine squared of 60. So what you need to do is, actually I'm going to circle this triangle because it's so important for all these problems to be able to do them. So here we're using the same triangle because it's got the 60 degrees. Remember, it was 60 from up here. But now I'm looking at the 60 degrees as my angle that I'm working off of. So it's really cosine of 60, which based on this is 1/2, and then I need to square it like that. So I get 1/2 squared, which is 1 over 4, and that's it for that. Next one. Actually, I'll try to keep that triangle there for now. I have secant. Alright, so secant of pi over 6. Alright, so first thing you need to do is figure out what pi over 6 is. So I'll do some scratch work over here on the right. Remember, we have our circle. A full rotation is 2 pi, so that's pi, 1/2 rotation, 0 degrees here. So bring it down here, this is pi over 2. That's 90 degrees. I guess, and then you could divide that by 3 to get pi over 6, which would be down here to this angle right here. Or you could say, alright, so from pi, this guy, to get to pi over 6, I need to divide it by 6. So since I got 180 degrees and pi, they're the same thing. Divide 180 by 6, and we get 30 degrees. So really what we're finding is secant of 30 degrees. Sorry for the handwriting. Now you should see how this applies to this triangle, because we got a 30, 60, 90 triangle. I got 30 degrees, so I can figure out the secant. So remember, secant, everything has a co. So cosecant goes with sine. Secant goes with cosine. So this is 1 over cosine 30. Oof, bad handwriting. Which is, cosine is a over h. So I need to do h over a. So I get, for the 30, so I get 2 over root 3, which needs to be rationalized, which gives me 2 root 3 over 3. So that's the answer for C. Alright, let me go down, redraw the triangle. Actually, that's really bad. Redraw the triangle. 60, 60, 30, 90, 1, 2, root 3. Alright, so from here, I need to, part D says find cosecant of pi over 3. So, same kind of logic from before. Start with the full thing. I start with 0. I go to pi. That's half a rotation because a full rotation is 2 pi, which means that I can kind of take that and look at it as 180 degrees. So, to get to pi over 3 from pi, I need to divide by 3. So I do 180 over 3, which gives me 60. So this is really just cosecant of 60 degrees. So from here, you look at the triangle. We got the angle that we're working with is right here. So that means that this is O, this is A, this is H. I'm doing this a little bit differently than I did the last one. You should be able to do them in any of these ways. So you should know that cosecant is the one that it's paired with is sine. So it is the sine instead of O over H, it's H over O. So I take H, which is 2, and O, which is root 3, and write it like this. Fraction bar, top gets 2, bottom gets root 3. Notice that's the same as the answer for C. So that gives me 2 root 3 over 3. This may seem confusing, but remember, all of this trig stuff is going to come together to a giant bucket at some point in our lives.